So today we're talking about my law school. I don't want to call it a testimony. It's more of an update because it's not done yet. It's literally just like in progress. But I think that it's good to tell people about, where you are in the season of like the path to getting to the testimony. You know what I mean? I think that's important. I think that's helpful to people who are in it. I think it's hard when people just see the starting point and they see the fruit and they don't necessarily see the in-between. I mean, I think everyone should be privy to the in-between all the time, but I think that there is some value in being, I don't know what the word is. It's either transparent, vulnerable, or something. One of those words. I don't know which one is the right word to use, but yeah, it's kind of just talking about where I am in my journey with law school. So still hashtag future attorney, future attorney. That's still the goal, but I want to explain kind of how, why I said that. So earlier this year, earlier last year, but earlier this year I applied to like 5 different law schools and did not get into not one. I really feel like the Lord was preparing my heart to bear the rejection. I really do think that he was. I think that, because when I got the rejections, I wasn't like sad and I wasn't disappointed. I was disappointed, but it was more of just like a dang, okay, you know what I mean? Like it was like a very momentary like disappointment, but then it went away. And I think that the Lord had been preparing my heart in a lot of different ways. One way that he was doing that is a couple years ago I sat with a friend and I was like, friend, like what would be the hardest thing for you to give up for the Lord? And she told me hers, and I was like, mine is law school. Like, I have to go to law school. And for me, that exposed that I had an idol in my heart. I had an idol of law school. I had an idol of achieving this great thing. That I think that it's the desire is from the Lord. I think that the fact that I made it into a God, and I made it into like, oh, if God take this from me, I can't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be so mad. So I think he was preparing my heart in that way, that, because after I told her that, I really had to sit with myself and be like, Lord God, what if? Like, what if you don't take, what if I don't get into law school? Like, what if? And so I started to wrestle with that question a lot. I wrestled with that question with myself. I wrestled with that question with friends. I wrestled with it because I was just like, that could be a reality of my life and my situation. So he took me through that season. Then when I came out of that season, I was just like, law school, who cares? Whatever. I'm just open to whatever the Lord wants me to do at that point. That's how I feel now. I think before, if you had asked me, like when I was a sophomore, like, oh, what if you don't go to law school? I'd be like, how dare you even put that into the atmosphere? Like, I would just get so upset because I'm just like, that's what I want so badly. More than I want a relationship, more than I want marriage, more than I want children. More than I want anything else in the world, I really want to go to law school. I know that's like crazy to hear from a woman. A lot of women, their thing would have been a relationship. Their thing would have been marriage. And mine is not. Mine, I could live. I will survive without a relationship. But when it comes to a career, you know what I mean? I think that was my idol. That's my personal idol. It may not be yours, and that's completely fine. But yeah, that was really big for me. So yeah, that was my idol. That was the thing that I really was like, Lord God, you can't have that. Like, you cannot have that. And so but I came out of that feeling like, Lord God, you can have it. You can have it all. That's the way that he prepared me. And then he also prepared me a couple of weeks before I got the acceptance letters. I kept seeing Proverbs 3:5-6 everywhere. It was so weird. Lord, all of your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. And so I just felt like the Lord was saying, trust me, trust me, trust me. Something bad's gonna happen, but trust me. But trust me, but trust me, but trust me, but trust me. And I was like, cool. So I was kind of prepared for I was prepared. I was really, really prepared mentally, spiritually, emotionally to receive this rejection. I was so prepared to receive it. Because I was like, okay, Lord God, I trust you. Like, I trust what you're doing. I trust that you're not doing this maliciously. And to harm me, and to hurt me, and to whatever, you know what I mean? I really, really trusted the Lord in that. And so when I got the rejection letters, I was just like, yeah, the Lord already told me this was gonna happen, so I wasn't really too pressed. And I'm super grateful for that, because another part of that testimony is that, because I was so like laser focused, like law school, I did not apply to any jobs. So I was literally putting myself in a situation where I wouldn't be accepted into grad school and I wouldn't have a job. Because I wasn't looking. I had so much faith in the fact that God was gonna show up for me, at least before I applied. Like, I was gonna show up for me, that I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just like, I don't need a job. You know what I mean? I don't need a job. I have law school. I'll be fine. And I wasn't fine. So what the thing that happened is that I think a little bit, couple days after I sent in my not rejection letters, I sent in my application, I got a call from an internship that I had done a while ago, asking if I would be open to, taking on a part-time job. And I was like, oh, for real? I just think that the Lord had provided me a substitute. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna give you this, but here, I'm gonna give you this. I'm here, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna leave you with nothing. And I think in that was God. That was God giving me the better, you know what I mean? Like, and even though I don't plan on staying in this job forever because it just isn't ideal for me. I love the job, I love what I do, but I just think that it's not the end goal for my life. So, but I think I didn't have to apply for the job. I didn't have to interview. It was just like, hey, you want it? Like, do you want this job? Because it's yours. And I was just like, wow, like, and I didn't even know I needed to look for jobs. Like, the Lord just gave me this job out of nowhere that I love. And, pays really well. And yeah, it's really great. Like, just imagine the alternative of the situation where I come out of undergrad, no job, no grad school. Like, do you know how that would be the most depressing thing in the world for me? And I think the Lord knows me so well that he's like, I have to give this girl something, because if I take this from her and I don't give her something else in replacement of that, it's just not going to be a good situation for her. Because for me, I'm talking to myself in the point of view of God, because he just knows me very well. He knows what I can handle, and I don't think I could have been, if he wanted to, I probably would have, leaned on him to grow in that area. But I think the maturity level that I was at could not have withstood, that I'm at right now, could not have withstood me being at home, no job, no nothing. And the funny thing about all of this is how it's like people around me are like losing, not people around me, but like people in the world are like losing their jobs and getting fired. And me, an undergrad, just got out of undergrad. I have a job that's like I can work remotely with, you know what I mean? And I got to keep my job. I had to move. I go to school in Atlanta. I went to school in Atlanta. I had to move from Atlanta back home to Houston, and I still got to work remotely. Like, God could have given me a job where I couldn't work remotely from. He gave me a job where I could still work remotely from, so I could save money, so I can find myself back in Atlanta when the time is right. And so I'm just super grateful for that, because I think that that's God just weaving himself in the story. And I really am excited to see what the end of the story is going to look like. So yeah, there's like little things in my overarching law school update testimony, blah, 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 that I want to talk about. So one of those things is University of Houston Pipeline Program. So the Pipeline Program is basically like a pre-law program for like students who want to go to law school who are a minority, either gender minority or a racial minority. I want to go to law school, and they just need like some help. And so I really wanted to get into this program. UH is a really, really good school, and so I applied, got waitlisted, and I was just like, I think it was like summer 2017, and I was just super, just like, wow, like, Lord, I thought that you wanted me to go to law school. I thought that was the plan, and then to get waitlisted, I'm just like, really? Like, for real though? Like, it was just a lot. And so after I got released to that waitlist, I started to scramble to find internships. Cause I was like, I'm a very one-track minded person. I don't look for alternatives when I do things, because I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get it. Like, and that might be prideful on my part, but I don't know. I think that I just see that. Ooh, sorry. I just see a lot of it as, oh, it's mine. Like, I don't necessarily see. I don't know what the word is for that. I'm not super like, oh, it's not gonna happen, woe is me. I'm very optimistic when it comes to things that I apply for. So I got waitlisted, and then I started scrambling trying to find internships to fill my summer with. And I was just overwhelmed and stressed and just sad and disappointed and angry. And then I think a couple weeks after they sent the wait list, I think a couple months after, it took a long time for them to call me back and be like, hey, you want a position? And I remember this day like it was yesterday, because I was literally like in tears. Like, I was on the phone with her, and like I had to mute myself so she wouldn't hear me crying. Like, I was literally in tears. Like, God like took me off the wait list. And for me, that was a sign that you're good, like, law school's for you. It's just not going to happen the way you want it to happen. And I think that whole U of H situation, it was kind of a prophecy to how my law school situation is going to happen. Like, I got waitlisted. Cool. But I got in. You know what I mean? And then for the larger law school thing, like, I got rejected. Okay, if I'm going to take this year off, breathe. and I'm gonna get in. You know what I mean? And that might be false. That might be not the way the Lord is doing it. I'm completely open to that me not being true. I'm not a prophet. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just reading the patterns that I'm seeing in my life, and that's the way that I think that it's gonna happen. And it could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong, guys. So open to being wrong. But yeah, that was a really good moment. It helped me to trust the Lord a lot. And because I knew, like, okay, law school is for me. When I got to the rejection letters, I was just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen one day. It may not happen today. It's not. I don't want to live on my timeline, because I think the thing is that you never know what's going to happen if you run ahead of God. I think this was God's protection for me, to not run into something that I don't fully understand or I'm fully prepared for. I don't think I have right now the character, the discipline, everything that I need to be a good law student. I don't have that. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't have those personality traits. I don't have those academic traits. I just don't. I'm not ready for it. You know what I mean? I think that the Lord saw that before I could see that, and so he spared me. He spared me from going into law school and getting all F's because I was, not ready for it.